for starting this discussion, which has now taken Nigeria, is now the pandemic we have in Nigeria. The pandemic of rape, sexual abuse, and abuse of women. The abuse of women has always been there, but this rape that is now very endemic, I don't know whether it's caused by the lockdown. Maybe the lockdown has made it possible for us to notice it. Because prior to lockdown, people were not confined to a place. All these things. I start. There are two issues here. There is rape of women. Even some are so callous in raping little children that are not even a month old. And women are raped almost every day. And some, their husbands even rape them. When I told somebody, say, how can a husband rape a wife? Yes, if the wife doesn't give you consent, it's rape. We are lucky in Nigeria, high incidence of rape is high. In South Africa is the norm. In South Africa, they rape them by thousands every day. But I'm glad in Nigeria, people are now, the incidence of rape is now out in the open. We have to understand the difference. Domestic violence, which most women suffer, relationships in marriages. Some women die in silence because they want to, what will the world say? My children, my family. They are abused by their husband. Abuse is not only when you beat a woman. There is emotional abuse, psychological abuse, verbal abuse. Then the incidence of rape. Domestic violence is a violence between intimate partners, whether married or not married. This pattern of behavior, men use it to maintain power on an intimate partner. They use abuse. And they cause physical harm. With doing that, they arouse fear in the weakling, which is always the woman. It is, the abuse can be physical, it can be sexual, and it can be intimidation and emotional. Abuse is abuse, and nobody should tolerate it. And in Nigeria, where we are, we don't have a system that takes care of abused women. People think abused women are the low class. No, a lot of women in high places are abused daily by their husbands, but they die in silence. It's the violence against women and girls remain one of the most pressing issues of inequality globally. At least 1 in 3 women around the world become victim of abuse or rape or attempted rape in their lifetime. And in Nigeria, because since we are Nigerians, we are focusing on Nigeria. In Nigeria, just recently, domestic violence has been, and rape has been considered and discussed, I think 2 weeks ago, by the Congress in Nigeria. What do they call them? House of Assembly. Before, nobody cared. They blame it on the women, or they blame it on the mothers. They didn't train their girls well, or they are the cause of the abuse. Thanks be to God that they are now viewing the problem because of the high incidence in the past few months. You know, it used to be the normal part of marriage in Nigeria, abuse by husbands. It is a gender-related reason. Men are not abused, although some men also are in an abusive relationship. But it is not, maybe it's 1 in every 1,000 men. But in women, it's very, very rampant. And it is time for we women to come together to say enough is enough. Enough of this abuse of women, rape of minors, of toddlers. Enough is enough. And I can say why women keep quiet is because of fear of losing their financial status and what they get and what the people will say. Because of that, they die in silence. But I think if we have a system, something that will take care of them, where if they come out and talk, people will listen, and there will be programs to heal. I think more women will come out. If there is a shelter for them, more women will open up. Because those that open up fear for their lives. At times it leads to death because the abuser chases them, even their parents and their relations. Domestic violence causes a scar, psychological scar in most women that is everlasting. And you can see there's a pattern. If somebody is in an abusive relationship and the person endured it for a long time, there is tendency for that person, the next relationship will also be abusive. But if you are strong enough as a woman, when it happens, you just pack your things and leave. You will heal faster. But when you are in that relationship and nothing is done, that's when it goes inside you and it takes a long time to heal. I think it's time we look for justice for the abused women, the raped victims in the court system. But our court system in Nigeria recently is nothing to write home about. The police will take bribe from the abuser so that nobody will hear your case. But because of strong NGOs and women groups we have now, and taking up their cases, most of the cases are heard now. Before, people are afraid because nobody will believe them. But with a strong court system, they should, people should, a strong court system, they'll be heard. And also, when there is a rape, the first thing that we encourage people to do is to go to the hospital first. With that, you have evidence of rape. Because the doctors will take their vaginas swab, look for the wear and tear of the body and everything. In case you go to the police will say, where is the evidence? At least the hospital has an evidence to prove there is a rape. So the healthcare system has to come in place to help, but especially raped victims. Another thing we should, maybe women through the Ministry of Social, what do they call it? Ministry of Health, or do we have Ministry of Social Welfare or whatever, to start, put in the budget for shelters for abused women. because I don't think there is a shelter. Maybe some NGOs have their own, but I don't think they have government organized shelters in Nigeria. I don't know, I haven't heard. Maybe there is. Because that will help women a lot. Another thing also that should be done, there is, in India, there is what they call Chai, which is Tea Day, I think, which is every, I think November 25 or June 19, whichever day, where women gather together, have tea, and raise money for abused women. And they use that to raise a lot of money to help abused women to get their feet together, help them in their training, you know, empower them economically. Because if a woman is empowered economically, no man will treat a woman. It's because most of the women that are raped, that are abused seriously, are those men have strong economic power over them. They use that as their weapon, as their tool to treat them anyhow. Nigeria has come of age for us to stop those things. And what is surprising to me with all these things happening in Nigeria these days, we have elected or appointed, because most people there didn't win any election, members in the Congress, and they just sit there. I haven't seen them at least call for a press conference.
Princess, would you start rounding up, please, so that...
Pardon? All right.
So would you start rounding up, please?
All right. I'm sorry. You know, because this is a very interesting topic. You know, in a culture like our own that discourages victims from speaking or reporting abuse, we have to cease, you know, make sure that that kind of culture stops. And we have to make women come together and also work with the International Day. There's an International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women. It's November 25. It's the Child Day, the Tea Day, that is June 19th. That day, it will be good for women. You know, Ireti, you are good at this. You can also help for women to come together that day to also make statements with the whole world. It is a day recognized by the United Nations, where, because this is very, very rampant in Nigeria, maybe it's because of this lockdown, you know, and you know, men, there is a saying, I'm very sorry, when they get libido or whatever, they don't care where it is, they pack whatever they have, even if it's inside a 3-month-old baby. It's a disease, it's a sickness. Some of them also need help. I would thank you for putting this together, because this is a very, 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 very touching topic, because we are all women and mothers. No mother here would like to see her 3-month-old baby raped, or see her sister or herself being abused every day by the husband, whether emotionally, verbally, physically, and even rape. I remember many years ago, 1970 something, in Utah, a man was jailed for raping the wife because he forced himself on his wife. That is rape. And I'm glad this is coming on at the right time, and there should be further discussion on this. And I'll wait when we round up and talk about other issues I haven't talked about, to give chance for other people to talk. Thank you.